Now, if you've actually watched Caleb Maupin's video, it is true that he spends a very disconcerting amount of time associating with people with bad views, but he doesn't actually express those views himself. Or maybe he does on Russian irredentism, maybe he's a bit of a Duganist there, I'm not sure. But in terms of his plan for the USA, it's not very Nazbol-y at all. Caleb Maupin, if you actually watch what he has to say, which you shouldn't, don't do it, just take it from me. It's more than enough engagement with Caleb Maupin, doesn't deserve your engagement. His ideas aren't exactly incredibly serious. What he wants is essentially like the USA to return to being like FDRism, like Franklin D. Roosevelt, massive government like job programs and an economic bill of rights and stuff like that. And he wants that to be like combined with like essentially a sort of not really isolationist, but like isolationist in terms of imperialism, foreign policy. Like he doesn't want the US to do any imperialism anymore. He wants to do it to indigenous people in the USA, don't get me wrong. He wants them to be colonized still. But he doesn't want to do it to other countries, at least. Like, that's bad. That's definitely nowhere near my ideal, but it's still far better than what the USA is now, both for the people within it and without it. And it's also far better than what your generic so-called left-wing, really liberal streamer like Vorsh, who hates Caleb Maupin, wants. At the end of the day, what they advocate for results in Joe Biden being like a fucking cyborg and ruling the USA until the end of time. And, they still want the USA to do imperialism. Vorsh has recently gone on record saying that he wants the CIA to do a coup in Russia to install a US puppet government. So, we're not exactly talking about two people with great ideas here, but between those two sorts of ideas, like the liberal, let's work within the Democratic Party and never get anything done ever while we attack any designated US enemy nations and legitimize US imperialism as much as possible. And Caleb Maupin, who's like, okay, let's just fucking resurrect FDR and stop doing imperialism as much. Caleb Maupin is obviously better. So I gotta give him that. I gotta credit Caleb Maupin. His vision for the USA is legitimately better than most of his opponents. It's not even a good or a great vision. It's not communist, it's not socialist, it's not anarchist, it's not anything really left. It's just like isolationist social democracy with more government like job initiatives than you would normally expect a social democracy to have, and perhaps less neoliberalism and imperialism. But yeah, so Caleb Maupin is better. His politics are legitimately better than those of his opponents, and that's sad because his politics are obviously very bad, and I've explained why many times on this channel. It's absurd and a joke that like fucking liberals who are like, vote for the Democrats, vote Joe Biden. I'm an anarchist, vote Joe Biden. He he he. Stop insulting Joe Biden. I want the USA to invade Russia. Ha 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 ha. Now those kinds of people dare to call Caleb Maupin a Nazbol when they're essentially like members of a genocidal blood cult, which is the US and its imperialism. They lust for non-white blood. They lust for third world blood, and they dare to say that Caleb Maupin is a Nazbol, like he's any worse than they are. They're both bad, but he's not worse than they are. That's the truth.